Welcome glamorous friends to another Blogging It Up. My name is Robert and today I will be reviewing Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. I'm a big fan of the first movie. I absolutely love it. Yes, it has its weaknesses, but I still love it and I was pretty damn pumped for this movie. I booked 2 showings. I went at 1 o'clock today and I'm going again at 8 o'clock. I'm still pretty excited to go to the one at 8, so that shows I'm going to give a pretty positive review already, but I will give the pros and I will give the cons in this review, so stick around, and at the end I will also be announcing the competition, and so you guys can enter and try win a prize. It's been 2 years since the last movie took place, and the Army and the Autobots have come together to create this organization called Nest. Nest is where the Autobots and the Army, they try, locate, track down Decepticons that are hiding on Earth to destroy them. Joining Nest are new Autobots that came from space as well. They've been on Earth for a while. This is Sideswipe, Jolt, RC. While all this has been going on, Sam has been moving on with his life. He's going to college now, and he says to Bumblebee that you can't be hanging around with me anymore. I need to move on. I need to forget about these aliens. I need spend time with my girlfriend and just live a normal life. But that gets hard for Sam when he comes across a bit of the Allspark. By touching the Allspark, Sam downloads a bunch of information the Decepticons need, and because of this, Sam is thrown back into the war between the Autobots and the Decepticons. The Fallen, who's the main bad guy in this movie, he wants the information inside Sam's head, which will locate a weapon that will drain the sun because he needs Energon. And it's cool that they brought Energon into this movie. That was a nice touch. So it's up to the Autobots to stop the Decepticons and try to protect Sam at the same time, who has all this valuable information inside him. All I can say is Transformers Revenge of the Fallen is a Decepticon movie, and that's the one thing that really lacked about the first one, was the lack of Decepticons. I mean, Starscream had like 2 lines, and he's my favourite Transformer of all time. In this one, he has a lot more lines. They hit the nail on the head with the Starscream and Megatron rivalry. Those scenes were amazing. There's so many Decepticons in this movie. It's all focused on the Decepticons, and if you are a fan of the Decepticons, you're going to love this movie so much. Because it's focused on the Decepticons, you really feel the stakes are now higher. There's more Decepticons, there's more explosions, there's more crazy things going on, and you really feel that anyone can die in this movie. And that's what I loved about it. It really had the sense of the 1986 movie, where you know, like, anyone can die. This isn't just a regular episode of a cartoon where you know everyone's going to live. This one, it can go any way back and forth between the 2 teams, the Autobots and Decepticons. Because there's more Decepticons, there's going to be more action. There's some fantastic fighting sequences. There's more transformations, more bots. You know, there's one fight in particular in this movie where it is very emotional, and I was actually tearing up, and I don't really do that in movies. And the first movie didn't really do that. It didn't really provoke emotion in the battles, where this one does, because like I said, you don't know who's going to live, you don't know who's going to die. The special effects in this movie are insane. You thought they were impressive from the first movie. They are even better in this movie, and there's a lot more robots, a lot more action, so you see a lot more of special effects being used, and it's just mouth-watering eye candy. And there's also other bots that join the Autobots, but I'll go into some of the characters in a minute. But some of the characters I really liked was Wheelie. A lot of people hate him from the 1986 movie and from the 3rd season. I didn't mind Wheelie, he didn't stick out for me, but in this movie I thought he was hilarious. I loved him. Same with Jetfire, he was just full of charisma, had so much character. Besides Prime and Bumblebee, Wheelie and Jetfire were definitely the other 2 Autobots that I absolutely loved the most. They shined most for me. There was a great amount of screen time for both those characters. Nice development, and they were just done perfectly. Skids and Mudflap are another 2 characters that joined this movie. They were great also. They weren't in so much the first half, but in the second half they were more featured. They were fun. Not as annoying as I thought they were going to be. This time around I felt like the acting was a lot better. I mean, Shia LaBeouf was great in the first one, but I felt like he outdid himself in this one. And because the stakes are raised higher, there's a lot more emotional scenes, and There's a lot more pressure put on the actors, and Shia LaBeouf is great. Even Megan Fox, I mean, in the first one, I thought Megan Fox wasn't that great. I mean, she was definitely the weakest. I mean, you can more or less say she's the weakest in this movie as well, but she has definitely improved a lot. She had some great scenes, and, you know, in the first one, it felt like she was really forcing those lines out, and they weren't coming out that well. In this one, they were very smooth, and she pulled it off well, and there wasn't times where I was distracted by her delivery of the dialogue. She does a great job in this movie. There's a new character called Leo introduced in this. I don't know who the actor who plays him. I should check on Wikipedia before this, but the actor who plays him does a great job also. There's this scene in the movie with Leo, and there's this close-up of his face, of him panicking, and there's a shot of something, then it comes back to his face, then there's a shot of something else, and every time it goes back to him, he gets more teary-eyed and more scared, and that is hilarious. At first, I didn't like the character. I thought he was kind of a douchebag, and I thought, oh, this character's going to be really, really irritating, but I thought he was a great character, and definitely fun. Some locations in this movie were absolutely fantastic. I loved all the parts in Egypt. Say what you want about Michael Bay, but the guy can shoot some amazing stuff. I mean, he made Egypt look so beautiful on screen. Even when there was helicopters and planes and tanks coming into the desert, he just made him look wonderful. And, you know, he may not be the best at telling a story or developing characters, but at the end of the day, the guy knows how to shoot action, and he just hits it out of the park with this. Now on to the bad parts in this movie. Like I said, this is a Decepticon movie, and that means there's not so much focus on the Autobots like in the first movie. Joining the Autobot team is Sideswipe, who is in it for like probably 10 seconds altogether. He's not even in it much. I mean, that kind of annoyed me because he is a... Like, I have the toy, and the toy looks fantastic, and I've been hearing so much about him around the net, and his character just seemed wonderful for this movie, but there's just nothing there. He's not in this. There's no development. It's the same with Jolt. Jolt is in the background, just randomly appears in the background at one point, and then he's in another scene where I don't even think you get a good shot of him. RC is another one. There's 3 motorbikes. They're all RC. They're connected in a way, which is a cool concept. No development with her either. And there's even a scene in this movie where Blackout returns. I think he's called Grinder in this. They don't even call him Grinder. I'm referring to the toy that's called Grinder. So Blackout is back, or someone that looks like Blackout. There's no explanation why he's there at all. He just kind of comes out of nowhere, and you're like, where did he come from? You know? I could have swore at one point I saw Bone Crusher. There's also a confusing part, and if you've seen this movie, maybe you can explain this to me, but when Devastator forms, Long Haul is a part of Devastator. But in the next shot, Long Haul is also in another part of the desert. So there's like 2 Long Hauls, and I could have swore I saw 2 Mixmasters. So I don't know if like 2 Decepticons scan the same vehicles twice, so I don't know what's going on there. So yeah, not a lot of development on a lot of the Autobots, and Bumblebee, who's in it more or less the same amount as the first movie, he still doesn't talk in this movie, and even though I do like the radio thing, I kind of felt like that was done in the first movie, let's have him talk in this movie, and they didn't do it. Soundwave is another character who I believe did get a good amount of screen time for what was there, but he didn't have the Soundwave voice. How'd you fuck that up? How'd you not have the Soundwave voice in there? Maybe it's because some people mightn't understand him, I don't know, but they should have had the Soundwave voice in there. This is not so much a bad thing about the movie, because as an adult, I'm okay with language and all that stuff, but, you know, Transformers should appeal to kids and adults at the same time. The first movie I felt did that fine, except for that scene where we talk about masturbation. Other than that, I felt the first movie got a good mixture of adult and kid humor. In this movie, they really pushed the adult humor. There's a part where Skids or Mudflap call Leo a pussy. I mean, that's a word you don't use in a kid's movie. Even though I'm an adult, it still kind of didn't feel right for a Transformers movie. It felt out of place. I didn't like that at all. About 3/4 way into the movie, it kind of feels like it's dragging, like a bit about good 15 minutes could have been sliced out of this movie. Feels a bit too long and it feels a bit too draggy. Whereas the first movie I was kind of like, more. In this movie I was kind of like, okay, I've had enough, let's stop now and end this movie. If you enjoyed the first movie, you're going to enjoy this movie, maybe even more, because I've heard people say that this movie is way better than the first one. I've heard the first one, but this one is still fucking awesome. You gotta go see it if you're a Transformers fan. It's awesome, okay? Competition time. I never done a competition before, this is my first one. If it goes down well, I will do other competitions. The prize for this competition is a 2007 Optimus Prime in protoform mode. This is a fantastic figure, guys. I love this guy's alt mode and robot mode. I have him already. I got this one on Christmas. So I had him already, so now I have two, and I want to give away one. So I thought this would be best to give it away. There's only a few things you gotta do to be entered into this competition. One, you gotta be subscribed to this channel, because I don't want to give away this figure away to anyone. I want, a bit of effort on your part. So, I'm giving away a free figure. You have to subscribe. So if you're not subscribed now, subscribe and then you can enter. Once you're subscribed to me, you gotta make a video, and you gotta put as a video response to this video. What the video has to consist of is you just saying why you deserve to get this figure, why you want this figure. I can say, hi, my name is Robert, I come from wherever. You don't have to give your real name, you can use your YouTube name, and you can say what part of the world you're from, like what country. You don't have to give state or anything like that. Once you do that, you gotta say why I want this figure or why you deserve it. You can do other things in the video, like show your Transformers collection, or show how big of a Transformers fan you are, anything cool like that. Try to make the video the best you can. I will look through all the responses, and the best video will win this figure. And if you win this figure and I send it to you, what I want you to do also is make another video response of you opening this figure, because I think that'd be kind of cool to send this off and seeing someone open it, and just to give something to someone would be kind of neat to see on camera. You don't have to do that. You have 1 week to make a video response to this. Next Friday I'll look through all the videos, I'll pick one winner, and I will contact you through YouTube and we'll sort out the details. If this competition goes well, I will do more of these kind of things. So if you missed this figure in 2007, here's your chance to win it. It's simple. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you enjoyed this competition. I hope you win if you send in a review response. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.